E o ile maasina malela. E fetu leni mai lona na mana. Ole moli maua mareko. Na ole whaia lava ole whato nunga Yesu ile matani. Ia file mu. Ona file mu lea. Maua lea ise matani. E o ile sani e usitaki atinga. Peita iani. E iai lava le vaenga o le fuafuanga na whaia i le atua. E whainga tāma le usitaki. O le tangata. Uso, can I ask you a real question, brother? It's been really heavy on my mind lately. Why do we always have to be usikai? Why do I have to put aside what I want to do what my parents say? Don't they know we can make our own choices? E pule hape laka ia longa o laka.
So, there's a reason behind every decision our parents make for us. Not out of spite or hate, but out of love for you and me. Being usikai is not easy, Marshall. I see that and feel that. Trust me. I've been in your shoes too. But being usikai isn't just about doing what you're told, but having faith in your parents' guidance also.
Yes, also I know that. They always say usikai, blah, blah, blah. How many times do I have to feel stranded and alone while being usikai? Sometimes what I'm being told to do feels impossible, man. And where's the reward? Can you even show me one person who's been rewarded for that?
Surely, you remember when we read about Abraham, the character from the Bible?
A man of great faith. When God told him to up and leave his home, to leave behind his friends, his wealth, the community and life he had created for himself, to go settle down and start all over again. Abraham had to decide between the security and comfort of what he already had versus going into the unknown as God wanted him to do. What did he decide to do? E lea whai mo whia le tū ua lo whaasino manga. Ua uo, a inga, a e tūlali, alu i se mea e se mai ni mea sa e ola ai, me e whiwhia ai. E lea whai mo whia le whai ma whiwhiringa a Abraham. Yet he still obeyed. Why? Because he believed in the Lord with his whole heart, to the point where he was asked to do the unthinkable to his own flesh and blood as a test. He passed and pleased the Lord, and God made Abraham the father of a great nation. We still speak about him today because he chose to be usikai.
Do you still feel like being usikai is sometimes impossible? Makes you feel stranded and alone also? Mose, you went from being the prince of Egypt to being a lone shepherd.
When God showed up in the burning bush, Mose was ready to listen and fall on his face in humility and worship. I believe sometimes in our lives, God takes us to a lonely place so we will seek Him. An ordinary man with a speech problem. He stuttered when he spoke. He was not an articulate man and did not know how to string together a sentence. So naturally, he was afraid, and God told him to go to Egypt and free his people. How could he do something so scary and daring, knowing fully well he wasn't capable of all his flaws, fast to anger and slow in speech? How could this simple man possibly carry out what God intended for him to do? God helped him overcome all his worries and face his flaws. Even though at first he felt inadequate, Mose went together with God to Egypt to carry out God's plan. O Mose o leo se te mata manusi. Tole, e tele fo i ona vai vaina. I ui lava I ia vai vaina. Ai ne wha toa ina e le lava o mosi. A tūlai mosi taki.
Remember Noah? He built the ark before the flood and tried to warn the world, yet no one listened to him.
A great example of how obedience or Skit develops discipline and produces an even greater outcome. Not only did it take Noah decades, years to build the ark, but he also faced many challenges that whole time. One of them being that he was tormented and deemed crazy by his own people for taking on such a project. People thought of him as a fool and never accepted the message of repentance he was trying to preach. More than 50 years of being labeled a fool, weirdo, not normal, for being that the world would soon be flooded. On top of being instructed by a voice in his head to build an enormous ship as a means of safety from said flood. Do you think it was easy for Noah to carry out his obedience in front of his haters? To us, maybe not, but Noah's faith in God was far greater than what he was dealing with. Being Skit is a commitment, not because we feel like it, but because we know. We truly believe and fully trust in the Lord.
O usitai. O le isi mo ta whai oi po le tiu te ta ua lea le tupulanga tarahu. E awa oi na mai lava I mātua mai le la titi. Ia usitai. Whai le mea lea, aua le whai le mea lea. Whai whapea, aua le whai a whapea.